Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Sorry for being late, guys, but computer has some technical difficulties. We've got some huge executive orders that are happening right now. Guys, I got a full breakdown of the list for you. I want to show you just a little bit of what you're about to see. One of the biggest things that just happened, 1,500 January 6 protesters through executive order are now pardoned. There's a ton happening right now. Right here, you can see in this picture all the executive orders on his desk that Trump is just signing away. And that doesn't even include what happened earlier whenever he was at the arena. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go through a full breakdown of a huge list of things that he has already signed of what is actually happening. Also, some of the biggest new deployments, and just a quick excerpt, guys. New deployments to the southern border, the National Guard to the southern border, police force and trucks to the southern border. They literally have a truck that is releasing razor wire as it's driving, guys. Unfortunately, I'm going to try to find all these videos for you. I had them all lined up, guys, and something happened with my computer. I had to restart. It wouldn't load anything. It was just, it happens. But there's so much that is going on. He also has that he's declared a national emergency, granting him special powers. I want to show you the list that we're going to go over in just a moment, guys. This right here, huge list of what is already in place and what's about to happen so that you can see. We're going to go one by one over things that are happening. But on the other side, Marco Rubio has just passed his Senate confirmation hearings with a 99-1 vote in the Senate. So he's our new Secretary of State. Vivek Ramaswamy is actually out of the Doge team. He's not going to be working with Elon Musk anymore. It's just going to be Elon Musk running the Department of Government Efficiency because Vivek is going to run for governor over Ohio, and he wants to put all his focus towards that. Also, everybody is making a big deal right now over Elon Musk doing the salute. I'm going to show you, guys, this is not no Nazi salute. I literally got photos of Kamala Harris, Hillary Clinton, Obama doing the same salute. The media is just trying to get some clickbait titles out there. We also have it, guys, with just one executive order. Trump has rescinded 78 of the Biden-era executive actions, orders, and memoranda. So huge changes are happening immediately. He's expected to sign over 100 executive orders and actions tonight, and we're going to show you a huge list of them so you know exactly what is about to change in the United States right now. But I want to say thank you to everybody that is watching, guys. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you. I want to say thank you to all of our subscribers. If you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button so I can take care of you with the breaking news. And if you don't mind, click the thumbs up like button. It really does help the channel out so much. Thank you for all the members of the channel. Y'all are so amazing. If you want to be a member, the link is in the description to join. And also, thank you to everybody that gives a super chat donation. We are so grateful for your support. We're in a couple of days, we're going to be doing our giveaway to charity online. And for everybody out there, me and my daughter are going to be doing our Trump dance. Well, I'm going to be doing the Trump dance. I don't know what she's going to be doing in just a moment. So you're going to get to see us do the Trump dance because it's an exciting day. But I want to jump into this, guys. So right now, Trump is signing a ton of executive orders. Lots of changes that are happening immediately right now. I want to start going over what has actually changed. So number one, he's declared a national emergency at the southern border. What does this do? It grants him special powers to send the National Guard down there, start allocating funds to pay for things to take care and secure the border down there. He has ended catch and release policies. He's directed the military to assist with the border security. Restrict asylum policies. So anything having to do with the people seeking asylum, trying to cross the border, nothing is happening right now, guys. They have completely shut down the southern border. I'm going to show you pictures of the police that are at the southern border right now, and it is very, very intense down there. We also have where he has ended birthright citizenship for children of undocumented immigrants. So, if you're an illegal, and normally when the illegal, they cross over the border, they try to find a hospital, they have their baby, then that child is automatically a citizen. Not anymore. Because of this executive order that he's placed, what they're doing is putting a stop to that, a hold on it, so that way is they can automatically, so that they can wait, vote on it, and then put a new bill to come forward so that we can actually have a more realistic way of granting citizenship than just coming over, having a baby, and then right there, automatically a citizen. Next thing, designate drug cartels as global terrorists, close the border to asylum-seeking migrants, begin mass deportations, potentially using the military resources. So if they need to use the National Guard or military resources, they can. That's what that means. This is one of the parts that they were talking about it, but now we know it's actually happening. So there's an executive order to deprive sanctuary cities of federal resources if they do not cooperate with ICE and with Tom Homan and his team. That is actually there, guys. It is huge because sanctuary cities get billions and billions of dollars from the federal government every single year. Suspend refugee admissions for at least 4 months. Nobody's coming over, guys. I said it. I'm going to show you something once it loads. Right now, guys, X is blowing up with so much traffic that I'm literally trying to load something from X because it is one of the most popular posts and it literally won't load right now. That's how busy everything is. So we'll go back to the list. Mandate border wall completion. So we know now, guys, that by the time that Trump ends his presidency, we will have a full, complete border wall. Next thing, pause offshore wind leases. Terminate the electrical vehicle mandate. Abolish the Green New Deal. Withdraw from the Paris Climate Accords. Emphasize domestic energy products. Next thing, on trade and commerce. Impose tariffs. So already, for those, so there's stipulations in the executive actions. If they do not cooperate, 10% tariff on global imports, 60% tariffs on Chinese goods, and a 25% surcharge on Canadian and Mexican products. This is huge, guys. He said he's going to do it. He's doing it, and he's not holding back. Next thing, end protections of transgender students. This is social policies. Remove woke nonsense from government operations. So they've already shut down some websites having to deal with DEI in the federal government, guys. This is huge. Next thing, issue pardons and communications, particularly for those involved in the January 6th Capitol incident. He is now officially pardoned over 1,500 of the January 6th protesters. Revert names of geographical landmarks, Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, Mount Denali back to Mount McKinley. So there's a ton more that I want to show you, but there's stuff that's happening right now that I want you to see because the border thing is happening, guys. This is huge. Check this out.
Yeah, you see Ivanka. You see the tech bros in the back. There's Elon next to them. So they're getting ready to roll, and we'll be dipping back into this. But I did want to get to the good news. You think I'm going to leave you today? I mean, the show just started, number one. But you think I'm going to leave you today on Freedom Day, on Emancipation Day, the day the revolution for freedom begins, with any kind of bad news? No, we cover that stuff because it's part of the news cycle and it shows you what we're combating. But folks, the good news is the winning has already begun. I want you to check this out. Washington Post, John Hudson. Scores of career State Department diplomats resign before Trump's inauguration. Trump's team requested high-level resignations as the president-elect prepares a sharp break with the Biden administration. Again, the famed Dan Bongino, yes, it is time. It is People are policy, brothers and sisters, in the vast and growing Bongino army. People are policy. No, Dan, policy's policy. Policy is not policy. The Constitution is just a suggestion to the left. It doesn't matter to them. I prove it to you over and over when I talk about the student loan debacle. There's nothing in the Constitution that says Biden can steal your money to pay off some woman named Marcy's student loans. But he did it. Supreme Court told him not to do it. He did it anyway. Dan, how can that happen? Because, folks, the Constitution is just a suggestion to the left. People are policy. If you get people in there who believe in the Constitution, we will get back to a constitutional republic. The fact that these State Department folks are resigning en masse says what? Some of you in the chat will pick up on this. The Trump team learned from its first term exactly that lesson. People are policy, not policy. People are policy. So that these people are walking out the door is absolutely fantastic news. State Department diplomats can do a lot of damage. Go back and read my book, Spygate. If you get it from the library, whatever, as you know, I'm not trying to sell you books or anything like that. But you'll see how the State Department was a key component in making sure the media ran with the fake Russia collusion hoax. The State Department had a key role in that. It is extremely powerful. You should be glad they're resigning en masse. Here's another piece of good news out of the New York Post. Illegal immigrants, who, by the way, they broke the law by coming here illegally. That's why it's called illegal immigration. Worried migrants flee New York City shelters as Trump ICE raids loom. It's better to leave before. Again, people or policy. Folks, the policy hasn't even changed yet. Trump has not signed a single executive order because he's not sworn in yet. He will be by the time many of you watch this, but that's not the point. The point is he's not right now, and migrants are already leaving. Why? Because there's new people in there. Tom Homan and others, Kristi Noem at DHS. You are going to see a change in direction and a massive one moving forward. And that's the reason people are leaving who are here illegally, or at least leaving the shelters and finding that they're not going to get a big warm and fuzzy. We should not, ladies and gentlemen in the chat, answer this question for me. What level of illegal immigration should we accept? How many? Any ideas? You know what the official position of the Dan Bongino show, i.e. me, eponymously named, is? Any ideas? How many in the chat? How many illegal immigrants should we accept? Let's see who gets it first. There we go. Lori Thomas T. None. Zero. You are correct. We accept zero. That is, we either have laws or we don't. Zero. Who said that? T. Random. Yes. Zippo. Zero. Now, does that mean we're going to have zero illegal immigrants? No, of course not. Is that an acceptance of defeat? Absolutely not, folks. We're human beings. You know, how many murders do we accept? Zero. Are there still murders? Yes, because it's hard to predict human behavior. This is a Minority Report. And people, unless they've broken the law, you can't go out and lock them up preemptively. This isn't Tom Cruise's Minority Report. Hey, the precog said you're going to commit a murder across the border. However, when you aspire to zero illegal immigration, rather than the Biden team that aspires to a whole country full of illegal immigrants, you're going to see a massive drop because people are policy. I wanted to get to this, too. This was Fox coverage the other day. I don't know if you saw this, but Trump is setting up a signing station at Capital One Arena for today. You guys hear this story in the chat? This is total personnel. Who said that? Speak to Truth McGroin. Yeah, brother. Total personnel warfare. Total personnel warfare. People are policy. There's Newt Gingrich you see on the screen right now. You got a whole bunch of people. Look at it. Who is that? Is that the old speaker? That is, right? My eyes aren't that great. Yeah, look at that. You got a whole bunch of people like paying homage. That's such a, Kevin McCarthy there too. You got the whole crew, man. You got a lot of rhinos. Oh, look, it's Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Another one knee deep in the whole Spygate affair. There's Don Jr. and Ivanka. Looking great, looking serious up there. Barron, again, you see him on the screen. A total personnel warfare. But getting back to what point I was going to make, there is no one who understands the showmanship of politics like Donald Trump. Folks, he's a unique figure. And again, that's another word I hate because it's unbelievably overused, which is kind of ironic when you think about it. Nobody understands modern politics and the showmanship of it like Donald Trump. The word out there is at Capital One Arena, he's going to do a signing ceremony in front of a massive crowd, which is, I don't believe, ever been done before, with this desk, and he is going to sign a bevy of EOs. Ladies and gentlemen, not only total personnel warfare, thank you, speak the truth, but another one, shock and awe. That's all I want to see. I want to see the Dan Bongino, now soon to be implemented shock and awe theory of government, which resembles one of our other theories of government, the Rock'em Sock'em Robots theory. That was about appointments. This is about policy. The second they start bitching about one EO,
sorry guys.
sign another one.
Hey guys, can y'all hear me now? Let me know your thought. Let me know in the chat if everything's better.
The second they start writing about that, bang, you sign another one. I got this. I was just in Miami. It's just keep signing. Just keep signing. Here's Fox News coverage of what's coming. Ladies and gentlemen, shock and awe, kids. Shock and awe. Check this out.
What else do you expect to see on day one from the president?
Well, once again, he is hitting the ground running. A number of the executive orders, as we understand it, based on our conversations, not just with the president, but with a number of his team members, he's going to issue a whole bunch. His arm is going to be sore by the time he's finished signing his name time and time again. I don't think this is a hidden secret or anything, but there could very well be 100 of them.
Guys, 100%. He is signing things like crazy. I wanted to show you this because check this out. This is what is happening today at the border.
Possible application of force.
They've officially sent down the police. They sent National Guard. Ain't nobody coming through. You already know. I showed you earlier. They put a 4-month ban on anybody coming into the United States trying to seek asylum, guys. This is crazy. I also want to show you this. This is one of the most best moments of him signing something that you'll ever see. Watch this.
So this is January 6th. These are the hostages. Approximately 1,500 for a pardon.
Yes.
Full pardon.
Full pardon or commutations?
Full pardon.
Full pardon, baby. And guess what? There's also another thing that he just signed, guys, because remember, the World Health Organization, they were the ones that pushed a lot of the stuff that we had to endure through the pandemic, and Donald Trump just signed us actually exiting that. And again, too, guys, I'm so sorry. Like, the internet is so crazy right now. This is taking forever to load. I'm going to switch some things up moving forward so that this never happens again. But I want to go ahead and jump into the next news because, again, too, there's more happening with Trump right now, and it's so exciting. Check this out.
Preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
45 is now 47. Donald Trump getting sworn into office as President of the United States, completing a political comeback unparalleled in history. And earlier, during his second inaugural address, the president declaring America's decline is over and the golden age of America has just begun.
The golden age of America begins right now. From this day forward, our country will flourish and be respected again all over the world. America's decline is over.
Yes.
Our liberties and our nation's glorious destiny will no longer be denied, and we will immediately restore the integrity, competency, and loyalty of America's government. We will move with purpose and speed to bring back hope, prosperity, safety, and peace for citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed. For American citizens, January 20th, 2025 is Liberation Day. Many people thought it was impossible for me to stage such a historic political comeback. But as you see today, here I am. The American people have spoken. I am with you. I will fight for you. And I will win for you. We are going to win like never before.
We are following all the developments, but we will take it around the table for as long as we can. Start with you, Jesse, and your observations from today.
This was a man who's met his destiny. He said he was saved by God in order to make America great again and usher in a new golden age. And the concentration of power that you saw in that room, probably the greatest concentration of power since the Constitutional Convention, made viewers and the country believe it was possible, because they were all getting along, and you saw the potential in this country when people do get along. At one point, he said a tide of change is sweeping America and sunlight is pouring over the entire world. And he said something necessary, and a lot of people maybe didn't like it on the other side, but he said the Democrats and Joe Biden have betrayed this country. And that was the cold, hard truth, and it needed to be said to his face, because we don't fear that anymore. It was probably the most ambitious speech ever given by a...
All right, y'all, real quick, I'm gonna pause real quick, because a lot of y'all said, Joel, we want to see you do the Trump dance. So I didn't want to do it by myself, but I wanted to bring my daughter. So this is my daughter. She's 3 years old. Say hi. Hi. So she's 3 years old. She is gonna, what are you gonna do? What kind of dance are you gonna do? The Trump dance? How do we do the Trump dance? Put arms like this? Go like this? Is that how Trump does it? Yay! Trump won! Trump won! Let's go! Okay, well, hey, tell everybody bye-bye. Bye-bye. Okay, time for her to go to bed, everybody. All right. All right, we'll get back to the show. Okay, I got you guys.
Human being. We're going to plant the stars and stripes on Mars. We're going to make America healthy again. We're going to seal the border. We're going to beat inflation. We're going to save our cities. And a lot of people watching felt that it was possible today. A lot of the times you hear politicians run their mouths and you're like, all right, this is just another political speech. This wasn't a political speech. This was a speech made by a hero. And he says the ambition is the lifeblood of a great nation. Talks about the spirit of the frontier, the call to adventure, and tied it back to the history of this great country. We came and we conquered and tamed the wilderness, tamed fascism, communism, and split the atom. So at one point he said, I stand before you as proof that nothing is impossible, that the impossible is what we do best. This was the hope and change speech that Obama never really delivered on. When they said, Barack and Joe, they want to fundamentally change America, this agenda is about fundamentally changing America because we're in transformational times. The media is changing. We're changing how we feel about our health. We're changing our economy. We're changing technology. The map is changing. Literally, he said, we want to take back Panama. And it was the most inspiring speech he's ever given that I've personally ever heard. And it's an exciting time to be alive.
Greg, the one thing, though, that really didn't...
Guys, and this is amazing. What I love is that we've been able to see a lot of Trump's people actually come out and literally talk about the next steps of where things are going. So check this out. President Trump says Ukrainian President Zelensky told him he wants to make a deal and end the war with Russia. Boom, baby. We got Putin, who said he wants to make a deal. Now, finally, Zelensky says he wants to make a deal. We're about to see the end of the war. Are you kidding me? I love it. Not only that, I wanted to show you this because this is so important. Everybody's talking about how Elon Musk came out and he did this and, oh, he did a Nazi salute. No, he didn't. Look at everybody else. You got Obama, Bernie Sanders. You got Kamala Harris. You got Hillary Clinton. Everybody has done this, but they're trying to make him look like he's the worst person in the world. And I love how you got this meme when it comes to the Democrats, the CNN is blindfolded, but whenever it comes to Republicans, they've got a huge microscope on them. But you know what, guys? I'm telling you, the amount of the dream team is around Trump like never before. And what I love is that we're truly seeing that things are shifting. Listen to this, guys, because this is so powerful.
What a great day to be an American. I have to admit it's a little surreal to be back in Washington, D.C. right now. 8 years ago, I was one of the very first staffers to go into the White House for President Trump's first term. And today, because Donald Trump believed in me, defended me, I stand before you as the youngest governor in the country.
Wow.
More importantly, I stand here as someone who absolutely loves this country and is so thankful we finally have a president that is back in the White House that will fight for each one of us. My youngest son, George, is a little tired of hearing me be called the youngest governor in the country. The other day, he asked me, he said, "Mom, you're the youngest governor in the country?" I said, "Yeah, George." He said, "Wow, those other governors must be really old." No offense to my colleagues. Whether you think I'm too young or you think they're too old, Republican governors have been holding the line while we waited on Donald Trump to get back to the White House. And ladies and gentlemen, the wait is over. We now have a fighter back at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, and I could not be more excited. The reason I'm so excited to see Donald Trump back in the White House is because I know he's a president who absolutely loves America. Not even an assassin's bullet could keep him down and stop him from continuing to fight for each one of us. Over the course of the 2.5 years I had the privilege of serving President Trump, I got to travel with him literally all over the world, seeing firsthand just how much he loves this country. And on one particular trip, it was unlike anything we'd ever done before and probably any of us will ever do again. Some of you have heard this story, but I want to remind you of who Donald Trump is at his core. We boarded Air Force One in complete and total darkness. There were no lights on the plane, no lights on the runway. And 12 hours later, on Christmas night, when we touched down in war-torn Western Iraq, again, a similar scene. No lights on the runway, no lights on the plane. No one knew that the President of the United States had traveled around the world on Christmas night until we got there.
Wow.
And the President walked in to a dining hall that was packed with troops, men, women from all over the country. Every demographic you can imagine represented in that room in that moment. And when he stepped in and surprised the men and women of our military, it was a sight and a scene and a sound that I know I will never forget.
Let's go.
People chanting in perfect unison. An absolutely unbelievable picture of what makes America incredible. Those men and women cheering, chanting over and over and over again, USA, USA, USA. And there was a young soldier in the back of the room, and he said, "Mr. President, I re-enlisted in the military because of you." And the president said, without missing a beat, "And son, I am here because of you." We finally have a president who will stand up for our country and that will protect and fight for the men and women who wear the uniform and give us the freedom so we easily enjoy. That young soldier came up to me and he tore the patch off of his shoulder and he placed it into my hand and he said, "Sarah, we are in this together." Ladies and gentlemen, that young man and everyone that has served before him, everyone that will serve after him, deserves to know that we have a leader that loves this country and will do everything he can to make it great, and that's exactly what we have in Donald J. Trump.
Let's go. Guys, such a powerful, powerful thing. I want to show you something, guys, that really hit my heart whenever I seen this. I truly thought this is truly the American dream. Want to say really quick, thank you so much, Andy, for the super chats and telling me about my things cutting in and out. Guys, I don't know. There's just online today is just blowing up the internet. But thank you so much, Andy, for your support in the super chats. And what's new? Thank you so much for the super chat. I love it. Victory. And thank you so much, Mr. Tracy J. Norby. Let's go. He said, this is just for the halibut, just a fish story, but really sad today all across America. Just watch how all the countries stop doing the bad things like 46 allowed them to do. Change is powerful, and for all the American people right now, power to the people. Yes, I love it, guys. And let me tell you this. There's so much power that's coming, but we still have such a big fight. Y'all show Mr. Norby and What's New and Andy some love in the chat, guys. Y'all are so amazing. I want to show you this, guys, because like everybody's focused over here on Trump signing the executive orders, but what I love is that you have some people that are focused on fighting the right people. Listen to this.
They're throwing down right there even before they walk in. Is that the attitude we should be taking? I gave a speech last night. We got to fight today because they're not. All this unity with them is totally phony. They don't believe it. They're going to try to chop block President Trump and get Hakeem Jeffries back in and impeach him. Your thoughts?
Completely.
Steve, there's no unity. No, absolutely not. No, these people would line us up in front of a firing squad and kill us if they could. We know exactly who the Democrats are. Their mask is off. Joe Biden pardoned his entire family. He pardoned General Milley. He pardoned Anthony Fauci. He pardoned the J6 committee members, and he pardoned Capitol police officers that turned against everyone. And so, no, this is not unity. Let me spell this out really clear. Democrats, until you start writing big checks to Republicans and you start voting Republican, and Democrats here in Congress, when they vote for President Trump's agenda, then we can start talking about unity. But until then, there is no unity. There's President Trump's agenda, the MAGA agenda, and we have to get to work and deliver the mandate that the American people voted for.
Yeah, I think the thing that irritates so many people, me included today, is that the Democrats sit there and pontificate about nobody's above the law, except apparently Joe Biden's entire family, the J6 committee, Mark Milley, and Anthony Fauci, among others. I mean, he pardoned everybody, and it's preemptive. We don't even know if that's legal.
Preemptive blanket pardons. It looks.
Guys, that's crazy. I'm telling you. But that's what I love is that you got some people that are focused on, hey, Trump's doing some amazing things, but some people are focused on cleaning things up. I wanted to show you this because this really touched my heart. J.D. Vance was born in one of the poorest parts of the country to a drug-addicted single mom. And this is his grandma. Remember how he always talks about his grandma raising him? And now he's the VP of the United States of America. Like, how amazing is that of a story, of an American story, that your environment doesn't dictate who you are or what you can be. And I can tell you this, guys. I grew up around alcohol. I grew up around people doing drugs. It was just bad stuff. A lot of stuff like that I've seen my entire life whenever I was growing up. But I thank God I've never been drunk. I have never drank. I've never smoked. I've never done drugs because I believe, and I thank God for all this and for his mercy upon me and protecting me, that you can choose a better way. You can change your family tree. And J.D. Vance did that. I'm doing that with my family. And it's just such a blessing to be in a country where you can live out the American dream in such an amazing way. And I want to show you too, because one of the persons that's living it out is, of course, one of the guys that actually made a lot of this happen. Here, check him out.
And this was no ordinary victory. This was a fork in the road of human civilization. Okay. You know, there are elections that come and go. Some elections are, you know, important, some are not. But this one, this one really mattered. And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you. My heart goes out to you. It is thanks to you that the future of civilization is assured. Thanks to you. We're going to have safe cities, finally, safe cities. Secure borders, sensible spending, basic stuff. And we're going to take Doge to Mars. I mean, can you imagine how awesome it will be to have American astronauts plant the flag on another planet for the first time? Bam! Bam! Yeah! How inspiring would that be? You know, there's always problems in life. You know, there's this problem, solve that problem. But you know, there need to be things that inspire you. There need to be things that make you glad to wake up in the morning and say, I'm looking forward to the future.
Yes.
I love you guys. So, and let me tell you, I'm gonna work my ass off for you guys. I really will. So, and yeah, but I'm super fired up for the future. It's gonna be very exciting. As the president said, we're gonna have a golden age. It's gonna be fantastic. And one of the fundamental things, one of the most American values that I love is optimism. And this feeling like we're gonna make the future good. We're gonna make it good. So, man, I can't wait. This is gonna be fantastic.
Guys, I love it. What a powerful, you know, person who essentially, guys, if it wasn't for Elon Musk, and I say this like wholeheartedly, this guy was literally campaigning in Pennsylvania because Pennsylvania was huge. Now, we did win all the other swing states, so we would have won the election without Pennsylvania, but just the momentum of seeing somebody fight for the freedom that everybody should have is huge. And guys, who I've got for you next, I'm telling you, this person is right now, from everything that I'm seeing, the most feared person, hear me, besides Trump, the most feared person in Washington right now for what he is going to do. Check this out.
I share something deeply. We love the American dream. And we have been given a gift by God today to usher in a new dynasty, because we just inaugurated Donald J. Trump as our 47th president. And we just inaugurated J.D. Vance as our vice president of the United States. And we did that because the American dream is alive and well, because you chose that our dream can be the dream for our children and the dream for our world. And we are at a crossroads here in America. But our future is bright because you had the courage to stand for your convictions.
Let's go.
So I'm humbled here to talk to you about why I love the American dream. My story's pretty simple. It's unique, and some of you share in it. My parents were born and raised in East Africa. My father in the 1970s fled a genocidal dictatorship in Uganda, where he saw 300,000 of his countrymen murdered, where he saw what lawlessness would do if it was allowed to break through the system of constitutional justice. He fled, like so many others. He married my mother. They moved here. They waited in line. They stood in line because the American dream was worth standing in line for.
Ooh, let's go. That's good.
That dream is woven into the fabric of this nation, and our immigration policy is the greatest policy in the world. And now that we have Donald J. Trump and J.D. Vance, it will become the greatest policy in the world again. But dreams and hopes aren't enough, my friends. We got to get to work. And we got to accept the realities that too many of you know from your communities. President Trump launched in his first term priorities of national security, law enforcement, economy, and global diplomacy. But now we have to retread some of that. And I'd just like to go over a few of the things that our community has been living under these last few years. In the last calendar year alone, we had 100,000 drug overdoses. In the last calendar year alone, we had over 100,000 rapes. In the last calendar year alone, we had 17,000 homicides. That is unacceptable in 2025 in the United States of America. That is why we need constitutional law and order. When I read the statistic that for the age group of 18 to 45, the #1 cause of death is CCP fentanyl. We are not prioritized to go after the threats that face this country, and most of all, that face our future generations. But thank God, we will be starting right now.
Let's go.
President Trump and J.D. Vance's leadership and administration will usher in the priorities that I cherished during my 16 years in government service. That we will always, always honor the men and women who wear the cloth of our nation and stand on that wall and tell you nothing's getting by them tonight. And so to them, thank you. To our teachers and our frontline workers and our first responders, y'all choose to show up every single day for our children, for our communities, and we will now show up for you. Thank you for keeping us safe.
Let's go.
To the men and women in law enforcement, and maybe I'm biased on this one. Our police officers, our sheriffs, our federal agents are some of the greatest warriors that God has ever created. And we will put them first because they have our backs, and now we will have your backs.
Let's go.
I am standing here because of the American dream. I am not standing here because of the color of my skin. I'm standing here because I earned my right on this stage, and you earned your right to be here with me.
Let's go, baby.
And I promise you this, with every fiber of my being, that our law enforcement, that our teachers, that our first responders, that our veterans, that our men and women in uniform who dare to serve this country and put themselves below the rest of our needs will be reprioritized to the top of the heap because they are standing on that wall, and we will not let that light go dark on them. Whether I was a national security prosecutor, a public defender, President Trump's deputy director of national intelligence, his chief of staff at the Department of Defense, or so many other roles that I was humbled and privileged to serve when I swore an oath to that Constitution, which I hope to do so again one day soon. You have my word that you have ushered in a dynasty of change. You have ushered in a dynasty that will allow our children to live this American dream. My American dream. I am living the world's American dream. I am the son of lawful immigrants. We worked our tails off just like you all do, and I'm gonna make you a deal. I promise you I will never quit on your children. I will never quit on their children, because this American dream does not belong to me. It does not belong to them. This American dream belongs to the world.
Let's go.
So in closing, I just want to tell you this. It's pretty cool to be speaking in Capital One Arena right before the boss. You've inspired me beyond words. Your love, your devotion, your commitment to our country, everywhere I go, shows us that we are not only the beacon of hope, but we are the land of constitutional justice. We are the land under Donald J. Trump and J.D. Vance where we are going to end the two-tier system of justice. We are going to remove the weaponization of the intelligence community for political purposes. And we are going to put the men and women of America first.
So powerful, guys.
So listen, there's just one thing left to do. We all got work to do. We've got the greatest president and the greatest vice president in the history of the world. And so I just need you all to do a little bit more. Every time you see a law enforcement officer, every time you see a veteran, every time you see a teacher, shake their hand. Give them a little bit of your time, because they're giving us all of our time. And don't forget to enjoy the ride, ladies and gentlemen. God bless America. God bless these United States of America.
Guys, how amazing is it? The people that Trump is bringing in are so pro-America, finally. Oh, man, it feels good. For trust me, guys, I know we're the number one leader in the world, and we gotta make sure the world stays straight. But look at this. I showed you earlier where already, because Trump is president, Ukrainian President Zelensky told him he wants to make a deal now to end the war with Russia. We already know that Putin said he wants to make a deal. What I love, too, is this just happened. Elon Musk posted this. The hammer of justice is coming. Trump has just revoked the security clearance for the 51 Intel agents who lied about the Hunter Biden laptop. These 51 people said, oh, it's a hoax. It's not real. We don't need to investigate it. We're just gonna, this was right before the 2020 election. We just need to forget about it because it's a fake Russian hoax. Guess what? They just got their security clearance revoked. Yes. Also, what just happened too, I love it. Like, I wanted to show you this. Look at this picture right here, guys. Look at all those executive orders on the table. His hand is going to be super tired tonight, but he said he would do it, guys, and that is amazing. What I love is that he's like holding himself accountable. He's getting things done right now. Right now, everybody's looking at like the speculation over withdrawing from who. So I wanted to show you this because, again, too, the World Health Organization was very monumental in making sure that Fauci had every single one of his ways, and at the same time, too, we had to live under that rule and under that thumb. And to me, I don't know. I just feel like that they need to be held accountable. And we give them so much money, guys. And I'm super happy that all that is changing. We're finally getting common sense, putting our money in the right place that it needs to be at. So I'm telling you guys, like, stuff will not load right now. This is crazy. But I wanted to show you this because this is super big. This guy, I'm telling you, is going to be so big in the MAGA movement over the next 4 years. Check this out.
Florida Congressman Byron Donalds. Byron, thank you for doing this.
Great to be here with you, my friend. Great to be here with you.
I guess we're both going to speak through this microphone. I guess that's how we're going to do it. Give me your quick take on the inaugural speech. I know you were up there.
I thought it was the right tone for as serious as the nation is right now. We need seriousness, not platitudes. We need focus, not statements that mean nothing. And we need a president and a leader who's willing to be out front, speak directly to the issues, not one who's nowhere to be seen. It was a speech focused directly on what needs to occur and what he's going to do, not just for the American people to know, but to put the rest of the world on notice. I thought it was phenomenal. It was the right tone. It starts the golden era of America.
Yeah, I love that he began right out with that. This is going to be beginning of the golden era. I love that. I was interested in a sort of what I call Teddy Roosevelt theme, American vigor, American toughness, and that goes with America first, but it also goes with stop messing with our Panama Canal, China, okay, and Chinese influence throughout, and of course the Gulf of America. So there's a lot of foreign policy content.
There is, and I think it's broad for people who may not know the Monroe Doctrine. It's something where America said anything in our hemisphere, frankly, needs our attention. We should be focused on it. Well, we've gotten away from the Monroe Doctrine for quite some time. You can tell Donald Trump is starting to focus on that stuff again, which is going to be important for the security of our nation, but also with bringing so much manufacturing, not just to America, but into other nations in our hemisphere to make our supply chains easier for the American people. Easier supply chains for businesses and for Americans means stabilized prices for consumers here at home. That's why all of the economic agenda, I know he didn't mention tax policy, but he didn't really need to. On Capitol Hill, we are going to continue Donald Trump's tax policy from his first administration because, Larry, it's the best tax policy our nation's ever had.
He did mention tariff policy.
He did.
And he did mention this new external tariff revenue something agency. What do you think about that?
I think it's great. I think there's nothing wrong with refocusing or positioning new agencies for a specific goal. We know one of the big problems in Washington is mission creep. You have agencies that were created for one purpose and they end up doing all these other things over time. So having an external revenue service solely with the purpose of collecting in tariff revenue to go directly to the Treasury, that is the kind of focus and details you need. A business mind would think of something like that. A political mind would say, oh, just run it through another agency where you have more mission creep, where it takes away from the needs and the services that the American people need to be able to rely on from a different agency. I think it's the right step.
He's been meeting with a number of Republican groups, a number of Republican House member groups, and I noticed he did have a particular emphasis on stopping the overspending as a way of stopping inflation.
He's absolutely correct. Scott Bessent, Treasury nominee, who's going to make a fantastic Treasury Secretary. We both know him. He's been exactly right, along with Donald Trump. We have to bend the mandatory spending curve in our federal budget. Joe Biden, what he did these last 4 years, which was so reckless, Larry, he massively extended and expanded mandatory spending and discretionary spending using COVID-19 as an excuse. We have to unwind all of Biden's COVID spending if we're going to have any chance of having a sound fiscal future for our country. And like I know, the bond market is watching.
Yeah.
You can have tax policy, you can have energy dominant policy and all these other things. But if you do not have stable finances, the bond market is going to come after us sooner rather than later, and that's going to hurt all Americans.
And drive up interest rates, including
Exactly right.
mortgage rates, some of which has already happened. And it's interesting to me that he included the overspending in there. I mean, I think that was deliberate. I think he heard it from a lot of your colleagues in the House. And I don't think people understand, as you just put it, how much entitlement spending Joe Biden has expanded and tried to drive into the baseline forevermore. Yeah. And that's got to be taken down.
No, we got to take it out immediately.
Not the big one. We're not talking Social Security here.
Right.
We're not talking Medicare.
Right.
But you say COVID and various forms of climate change and food stamps and things of that nature without any requirements, without any even work requirements.
Listen, if you're disabled, children, people who are affirmed, those people, we're still going to provide those services. If you're able-bodied in America and we did these expansion populations because of COVID, we're going to have to roll that back. The people in our country who truly need help, we want to be there for them and we want to help them. But at the same time, Donald Trump is bringing back a society based on meritocracy, on merits, and on work, and on efforts. And in order to do that, we can't have people who are able-bodied just sitting on the rolls. You're going to have to come off. We need you to get back to work. It's not just to your individual benefit, it's to the benefit of our entire country. Because if our labor participation rate gets back up to where it needs to be, we're only going to be more successful as a country.
Absolutely. And of course, he was very clear, very explicit about the border. Very clear today. And I think a lot of the shock and awe executive orders, I don't know where he's signing them. Maybe sign some of them on the Hill. I think he's coming here to sign some of them at the Capital One Center. I can't wait. I'll have to rotate my head to see it, but it's his day, not mine. But he was very explicit about closing the border.
No, he's absolutely right. It is a mandate from the American people. Larry, it's bipartisan. All demographic groups want to see our borders secured, and they also want to see illegal aliens being sent back to their home countries. What Joe Biden and Kamala Harris did was not humane. There were young girls raped in the journey to our southern border. There were people who were in tractor trailers who were dying of heat exhaustion on the roads of Texas. It was not humane. They're living on street corners in every city of America, not humane. Sending people back to their country, having an orderly force of coming into our country illegally, coming in legally, Larry, that's what the future of America needs to be. Legal immigration, secured borders. That's what Donald Trump is going to deliver.
Remain in Mexico.
Guys, let me tell you this. The amount of change that's coming, I want to show you this list that we went over in the beginning of the video of all the things that have literally happened and changes today. This is huge. HQ, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. Get up. Let's go. So we know that lots of changes are happening. Lots of things are transpiring today. Trump is not slowing down. He has literally been signing for hours of just going through, signing all the executive orders, signing the pardons, and just making sure that he holds to what he said he was going to do and making America great again. I want to say thank you to everybody that's watching. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button so I can take care of you every day with the top news. And if you don't mind, click the thumbs up like button, guys. It really does help the channel out so much. We appreciate your support. Thank you to all of our members of the channel. Y'all are so amazing. We could not do this without you. And I'm so glad in a couple of days. And guys, I forgot banks are closed on today. So in 2 days, the 22nd, we're going to be doing our donation to the charity that we do once a month live on stream so that you can see that we are giving back and helping out, making this world a better place. Thank you so much, Chip Trap, for the super chat. Said, thanks, Joel. Little something for dance lessons. Hey, man, I was just doing the Trump dance. Y'all can't be hitting me with some dance lessons. Come on. Thank you so much, Mr. Tracy J. Norby, again with the super chat. Let's go. He said no entry. Unison Construction on. Let's go. Alrighty, guys. Y'all show Mr. Norby, Chip Trap, HQ, What's New, Andy, some love in the chat. Y'all are so amazing, guys. We are here to serve you. Remember, Monday through Friday, 2 shows a day, 1 on Saturday, 1 on Sunday. We make sure you got the breaking news every single day. We love you guys. Appreciate your support. Y'all are the best. I'm telling you, this community, I'm so excited for where it's going. And I'm just so excited that we're seeing a new life come to the United States. I love it. We'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.